My name is Rage Darling.
And I'm Chris Stealth, and we have a feast of esports action for you today.
This is the ultimate battle of all battles, the most fierce battle you will see on this very stage.
Of course, we're talking about the Portsmouth Pirates taking on the Colchester Centurions. Last season, it was an absolute bloodbath between these two teams in the final. We had the Portsmouth Pirates devastatingly losing their Overwatch trophy to, well, you guessed it, the Colchester Centurions. And really, Portsmouth Pirates are looking to take back what is rightfully theirs.
So I don't know about you guys, but I am shaking with adrenaline. I am so excited to see this match. So without further ado, we're going to hand it over to our lovely casters.
Of course, we've got Hiprain and the mighty John Allen.
Thanks very much, Chris.
Well, let's see how Colchester are going to get on with their first siege here. Kirk on that Doomfist is just going to hop over the wall, and he's getting straight onto the point, looking for a bit of a congestion. Now we've got Colchester going aggressively forward. Both the teams just trading back and forth. Nobody's been a victim yet as Urlu able to take down Ivoni. That is going to be what the first tank down. It's one tank for Colchester. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far, and Kirk gets smacked in the back of the head.
Ooh, a lovely little hammer swing there for Carry Harry, but he's losing his teammates a little bit. Pegasus still up on that high ground. They haven't really taken control of the point just yet, and you can see Howlaloud is going to go down. That's going to leave him alive up on the top of the point, but they're pushing through. They've got the Reinhardt now onto the point. They've got so much pressure. This feels like a Colchester point through and through. The ult charge is not there for Portsmouth.
Rez came through as well onto Howlaloud, so Colchester easily capture this first checkpoint. This is what we were talking about, the team who are so dominant holding these points. We've already seen aggressively going forward for Kirk there. Just jumped straight back into his team. No major ultis getting thrown out. As I say that, here comes the Riptide. Let's see where that will actually go. Who will it get a pick onto? It looks like it's just going to be Kirk. No! A double kill onto the Junkrat.
They are going to be able to pick that off. So a little bit of respite for them, but this isn't really the place they want to hold. You don't want to be holding under the arch. It's a really cheeky little choke, but I'm going to eat my words as they're just straight over the top of the payload. The flame strike comes through, but it's not going to hit Kirk. Doing something in the back lines, but it's not going to last very long either, as Urulu will be able to shut him down, and Portsmouth Pirates actually hold at the arch.
And we were saying that, you know, this Streets phase is normally where you kind of give up a bit of time, but great play from Portsmouth to just buy a bit more time as we do look towards that point B. Once you're trying to assault into the Foundry, it gets very hard because of where the spawn for the defending team is. And already the fight's starting to break out. Howlaloud's thrown down the ultimate, managed to find one. That's going to be a double kill for him on the Farah. Free fall for the side of Portsmouth. And Colchester looking extremely potent now.
He's able to just run around. It seems like he's got a read, but he's just not quite sharp enough. Pegasus dodging around. Like it's
fancy dancing.
Absolutely, fancy footwork indeed. He's still alive. He's still in the wings, ready to go. He's got that tactical visor as well. If he places it well, he can burn that ult from Carry.
He's already chasing.
He doesn't burn the Transcendence there to keep himself alive. And he still has the ult. There we go.
That was a good shot.
Just the drop shot coming out from the Farah. The rocket lands, and they are going to be able to take the life.
Howlaloud now stepping forward with the rest of his team. This is getting very, very close. Transcendence gets thrown down. Here comes the Riptile one more time. Who will it find the mark on? Great ultimate comes through from the Reinhardt to pin them in place. Carry Harry gets peered back. It's been a 2-for-2 in the trade so far. We've still got the damage coming out. Graviton's not quite available yet from Nanzo, and Portsmouth are trying to hold on as hard as they can, but the focus is coming onto the Mercy. That's going to be a Graviton surge. Free pulled in. The damage isn't quite there because the Transcendence is healing them up. Semp falls down, and Colchester find everybody.
They push it on through to the second point, and they're into the Foundry stage of the map. This is last stand now for Portsmouth Pirates. They're actually going to swap Urulu onto the Farah. They're taken to the skies. They're going to take the fight to Colchester, where they feel the most comfortable. But that was a brilliant couple of shots there coming out from the Reinhardt. Semp not quite able to get the Graviton surge that he wanted there. The Transcendence was still available. If that had been burned actually by Pegasus earlier on, like I was talking about, by Carry, that wouldn't have happened, and that could have been a massive change. So it was really wise for Carry to hold on to that.
Howlaloud will fall down here. Kirk's now got his ultimate available to him. He can go in, looking to maybe find a pick. Oh, he's just executed. The rest of his team died. Okay, I was like, that's a cheeky chat. You can actually go underneath there on certain characters. Genji, the Doomfist can do so. Mercy, Lucio.
Lucio?
Yeah, Lucio can do it. You can wall ride
all
the way around. Yeah, it's very, very hard. You have to be a very good Lucio, but you can actually wall ride underneath the map and back up and out.
So what you're saying is you've never done it?
Yeah, I've never done it. I can do it on Genji. I could do it on Genji. I'm not very good at him anymore.
All right, well, we'll have to wait and see. But the assault comes through for the Colchester Centurions. Actually, Mercy getting pumped out there. Oh, Howlaloud's the superior Farah in this instance, and they're just going to roll it through. They've got the rocket barrage, and it's just going to be wrecking in the back line for Kirk. and they're just double teaming the entirety of the Portsmouth team. I don't know where they are, but it doesn't seem like they turned up on King's Row.
The dual carries turned up massively there for Colchester with a triple kill onto Howl Aloud, and that will be 3 minutes 31 on the clock for Colchester. Portsmouth Pirates running an extremely aggressive team here with the Genji and the Widowmaker. Widowmaker's been a staple on King's Row for a very, very long time. You typically like it on attack because you can get some really good sniping spots and it's easy to switch out if it doesn't work. Typically, you switch it out after you've captured your first point because it's not very useful on streets. It's too windy for Widowmaker to really kind of abuse her kit.
Yeah, so what you see, although I imagine Pegasus might stay on it, is that Widow will try and get the opening picks, maybe jump onto the balcony and try and get 1 or 2 more, but that will be swapped off relatively quickly if they don't immediately get the first point. Triple tank coming out from Colchester, so they do have a lot of health to be playing around, so that might make it a little bit more difficult for Pegasus to find the marks that he's looking for, because he's really going to be looking for Carry, looking for Kirk, but he needs to be able to get it. Urulu on that Genji already in the front line.
No surprises there to see Genji going forward, but Shield and Reinhardt's going to start to take a fair amount of damage, and we're just watching Pegasus in the moment get the snipes. Great sleep onto him. Urulu dashes through looking for the damage, gets picked off. That's going to be 2 for Portsmouth.
They are carrying it on through onto the point. Kirk not quite able to pump out the damage. Semp takes down Surrenderous, and the other support goes down as well. Anna on Anna as the Portsmouth Pirates push on towards the first point, and they're just wrecking through again. This is exactly the same performance that we saw from Colchester. So both of these teams, they're really strong here, and they're bringing the fight. You can see Semp already on high charge on that Zarya. The first point goes like butter.
Goes like butter.
Yeah, they are hot knife. I don't know.
I was going to call you out on that. Okay, well,
I feel like it was implied.
This time it's down to Colchester to defend as well as Portsmouth did at this first point of streets. They did kind of get wiped afterwards, and Colchester maybe just taking a little bit of a step back. We still got to wait for that payload to make its way towards the streets. Just holding out for these aggressive plays. We've got 2 ultis for Colchester to work with. Ultimate Economy's coming through. That's going to be the Riptide thrown down. Let's see who it's going to connect onto.
Hold the ults, Portsmouth. That's what you need to do. But instead they actually go in. This is huge. Urulu with the Dragon Blade. He should be able to do so much work here, but Anna keeps them alive. Coalescence comes through as well. Kirk is able to get the retribution, and they're turning the fight around. That is a Graviton surge for the ages, but unfortunately Portsmouth cannot capitalize. Colchester pushed all the way back.
That looks so big for Portsmouth, but they just didn't have the damage to follow up. Pegasus has been slept, and that bomb almost killed him.
The hugely important part of that fight there was Surrenderous getting that Coalescence down onto the entirety of his team, keeping them so healthy. And of course you've got Carry dropping that biotic grenade on top of them as well. Brilliant showing coming out from Colchester, but they've got another fight on their hands.
Now it's Nanzo who's working towards his Graviton Siege. That's going to be 1 fired down. Here comes the damage of the Riptide. Finds a double from Kirk. Ultimate comes down from Surrenderous as he's about to pick up Carry Harry, and everyone on Portsmouth is falling down once again. Nanzo's almost got his Graviton Surge to boot as well, and Portsmouth lose yet another fight in the streets.
Semp was able to charge up his ult really quickly there, actually. We just saw 2 almost in a row. That's very atypical for a Zarya. You expect to be seeing them maybe once every minute and a half, but that was almost 30, 40 seconds. That was crazy, but Urulu, he's
careful, mate, careful.
Yeah, a little bit.
Graviton
Watch out, mate.
Surge on Nanzo.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where I want to fire this. See where this goes down. That's going to be the Graviton Surge. Pulls 4 members in. Damage is there. Everyone else is trying to dive in from Colchester, trying to find the opening. Shatter lands. Howler's managed to get himself a kill, followed up by Kirk. That's going to be 4 for Portsmouth. Sorry, 4 Colchester, and Portsmouth once again lose a massive team fight. Carry's able to get another kill as well, and it's a full team kill for Colchester.
Very, very strong, although Portsmouth, they weren't really going into that fight expecting to win it. Colchester had so many ults. Portsmouth, they were just on the edge of getting a couple, and you can see now Urulu has the Dragon Blade. You've got Harry with the Earth Shatter. Padchak almost has that nano boost available. Colchester Centurions have plenty of ults of their own, so it might be a little bit of a tricky fight, but there goes Urulu.
Instantly stunned up and locked down. Surrenderous is able to pick him out. Now we're looking for a bit more of an engage. Carry Harry's traded 1 for 1. There is a Dragon Blade on Howl Aloud who's used it already. He hasn't actually found his mark with it. It's just been a 1 for 1 in the trade. Nanzo's going to take down the tank for the Portsmouth Pirates, and Colchester once again forcing the the Portsmouth Pirates towards their spawn once again. Graviton Surge on Semp is available, but Portsmouth just haven't been able to work with them. Coalescence is available as well.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
From Surrenderous. That was a crucial part of what allowed them to survive that fight before. But if they allow Surrenderous to build up any more charge, they are wasting a lot of time here. But there goes the Nano Boost. I'm expecting the ult to come too. There we go. They drop the Graviton Surge, and it's going to find plenty, and they're just going to roll it through. Brilliant timing on that, making sure that they knew Surrenderous ult was down, and Semp just cleans up the kills.
It's a reverse team kill coming through from the Portsmouth Pirates. 2 minutes 40 on the clock, and they need to get it towards the factory ASAP. 3 minutes 31 is the time to beat here.
They do get a little bit of a boost, obviously, but that was a lot of time actually burnt there from Colchester. A really strong showing. 3 fights on the trot they just were able to clean out through. Even when they took a disadvantageous engage, it was really, really strong from them.
And even with them capturing the point and getting that additional time added to their clock, they're still down on Portsmouth Pirates. Colchester need to at least force this into a 3rd round now, otherwise they are not going to be looking pretty going into game 2 in this best of 5. Looks like everyone's starting to step forward for the Colchester Centurions. That's going to be a Nagasus. Ulti from Diva's able to pick up Surrenderous. It's been a 1-for-1 in the trade. Looking for a little bit more damage as Urlu trying to connect these shots. Isn't really getting enough damage out for the rest of the team. Harry is coming up huge, but he slept as he goes in with a charge. He's going to be able to pick up Nanzo though, and Portsmouth still pushing this payload forward, but it looks for now that Colchester have been able to hold out.
Urlu nearly has that rocket barrage available, teamed up with the Semp Graviton Surge coming up as well. That is a potent combo. They need to try and place it wisely. Howl Aloud is actually swapped off onto the soldier, so the roles have really been switched up here. So there goes there it goes. Semp doesn't even need to pop that. They take down the front line and they're going to try and push it through.
Portsmouth trying to push all the way. 4 members remain for the side of Colchester. Stepping forward, Howl Aloud has thrown down the attack visor. He's managed to find himself just one for now, as we've got a Graviton Surge available onto Semp. Where's he going to fire it? Holding fire for now. He's just trying to find the opening, but the rest of Portsmouth are starting to come up and follow through with the damage. It's on top of the payload. A Surrenderous and on there. Charge from Carry Harry. Pins out Surrenderous. Free fall. Ursa goes down as well. Carry Harry gets slammed. Kirk! Massive pick! And Colchester hold out fast.
An excellent turnaround there for Colchester Centurions. Crucially, Carry Harry missed the Earth Shatter onto the enemy Reinhardt. They weren't able to get him down onto the floor. He just turned around and went, bang, my turn. Took down the Mercy. The Pulse Bomb came through beautifully, landed the stick, and Colchester hold again with a really well fought fight.
Really, really solid fighting from Colchester. Now they need to... They've got 1 minute 17 to work with. That's kind of 2 team fights, depending how Portsmouth play this. Ulu able to take out Ivani.
A very good opening there. They're able to boop him off the edge, but there goes the Graviton Surge. We'll find 2, and the Biotic Grenade will stop the healing coming through, but it's going to time out. Unfortunately, there goes self-destruct sequence. Who's it going to find? They take out both tanks now. They're really playing at a disadvantage, and the res comes through onto Urulu. He's trying to roll it through. He's in the skies, and he is brutal today. He will push it down. The fight goes the way of the Portsmouth Pirates. They will be able to push towards the 3rd point, but the time is a little bit lacking.
The Portsmouth Pirates have 1 minute to work with, like we said. 45 seconds left on the clock. If Colchester can just hold out here, this would be big for them. That's a good pick from Howl Aloud. Taking the Farah out of the skies. He gets himself a double kill as well. It's been a 1-for-2 trade so far, and this is going to force Portsmouth Pirates to just fall back. And they're going to have to work with overtime as Pegasus falls Colchester. This is really, really good for them.
Well, what's happened there in the meantime is that Semp has been able to build up loads and loads of charge on that Zarya. Should be ready to take a really fierce fight. You can see all the lights glowing over there, but Howl Aloud on the back lines, he's been so brutal. Not just a Pharaoh 1 trick, it seems. He's able to try and rotate up to the high ground, but they pushed up to the point. You need to get in position. Semp, meanwhile, has taken down the front line. There's the Deadeye. Will find the Mercy. So they've taken out a major source of healing, but that shouldn't matter. Semp nearly has the ult available.
It's been a 2-for-1 so far. Portsmouth trying to get their upper foot here, but Pulse Bomb on the side of the map just goes a little bit wide. And we've actually got a good Graviton Surge going to come through. Carry Harry charges forward as Carry's next to go down. Portsmouth actually managed to get themselves on. A hook goes a little bit wide, but everyone starts to fall for the side of Colchester, and Portsmouth managed to make a miracle happen, and they capture through in overtime.
Stay on the cart, guys. You need to keep that moving. Overtime will continually be ticking down here. You cannot step away from Portsmouth. It is do or die. Hold your line or go down swinging. Colchester Centurions are looking to take the fight to them. You can see Portsmouth moving forwards. They're trying to prevent Colchester from stalling out, trying to get as much ground as possible. This is a strategy you only really see in some certain situations. Oh, actually, the Reinhardt turning around at the wrong time will get taken down, and Uralu's actually swapped out onto the D.Va.
Had a res come through as well from I Have Two Thumbs, and Colchester starting to get pushed in. That's going to be a Graviton Surge, pulling 3 members in. Shatter to follow, and suddenly Colchester are finding the picks they need. Kirk on the Reaper putting the work in, dropping down Semp. Let's see if Colchester
100%.
can actually make this happen. Almost there. Damage is starting to come through as Kirk now onto the tanks, trying to cut through them. I don't know if he can actually get enough through as the rest of the team are starting to heal them up. That's going to be the ulti. He throws it down. He finds 1. It's going to be 2 for Colchester. Make that 4. Make that 5. And overtime ticks out in Streets.
Brilliant fight there from Colchester. They read the switches beautifully.
Colchester definitely in a better position to take the map. Got a lot of time to work with. They don't really have to push the map that fast. And like we said at the beginning of the day, this is a team who thrive at sieging. They thrive at capturing. So if they can capture this point, they can hold on nice and good. But oh, look at that. That's a little bit spicy.
It's a little bit cheeky. Uralu has been known to take some of these slightly off-meta picks. We saw him, as I said, the Torbjorn and Barney, the Bastion as well. Really quite sort of unexpected. It's what this does is it buys you time. It's because they need to readapt and play around the Bastion because they're not expecting it. But once they do, it should be relatively easy to adapt to it and to change around. But it just needs to take that time. And that's exactly what Portsmouth need, is to burn as much time as possible, try and keep themselves in that position of strength.
Going straight onto the back here, Kirk trying to find a pick onto the Mercy. He's on 16 HP. We'll get a health back, but he's being pinned out by Semp, and that's 2 kills for Portsmouth.
They're able to roll it on through. Oh, a nice hook there from Pegasus on the Roadhog. We'll find out the front line, and they're backed off yet again. So this is where they need to adapt. This is where they need to figure out what they want to do. Kirk now on that Tracer. So they're looking for the sidelines. They're going to build up that Pulse Bomb and try and find out where Uralu is, send the Tracer around the flank, and just blow him up.
He's got 73% on his ult form, so getting into a scary position. Colchester just need to regroup. They've got plenty of time to work with here. Portsmouth just need to keep holding fast, and as like you said, Tracer's starting to come around onto that flank, looking for an opening. D.Va's close to ulti, 69%, but getting picked off like that, it's not what you want.
Oh, he's going to be able to...
Mech gets popped.
Yeah, he's going to be able to fall back though. Howlaloud able to take the D-Mech, but Kirk has gone down in the meantime. We'll get respawned up, but they're still playing around this statue. This is a really solid hold so far. Uralu doing so much work on the Bastion that they can't get through the Rhine Shield.
Oh, Portsmouth showing up massive. Pegasus gets himself a double kill. He's looking for the hook. He's going to give it over to Carry Harry. And they find so many good team fights, and now it's 2 minutes 18 for Colchester to work with. What happened to the team we saw at the beginning of this series?
I'm looking at Howlaloud and thinking, you need to swap off onto the Genji. Maybe, I mean, you could potentially play the Doomfist, but again, Genji just quite an obvious counter. Kirk actually swapping over onto the Reaper as well, trying to burn through those health bars, but they've set up and they're pushing through a choke against the Bastion.
It's a lot of damage coming through. Pegasus is going to take down Howlaloud. Healing's starting to come up, and Portsmouth found themselves 2 kills. Self-destruct's going to get thrown down. Let's see if it finds its mark. No one's going to get hit, but Semp's going to be able to get back into mech nice and safe. And Uralu's peeks out Surrenderous, and all of a sudden Colchester once again is just starting to lose the map. That was massive. That was
absolutely massive hold. Yet again, they're almost down to that 1 minute mark. Remember, Portsmouth only had a minute to work with. They went halfway through Streets. So, Colchester Centurions, by all accounts, not quite as strong as we saw before, as you mentioned, Jake. But Uralu doing so much work on this Bastion. I have to say, they're playing around it perfectly. They've got the Bastion, they've got the Reinhardt shield in front of it. That protection combo is so potent for them. They've got Semp to eat any ranged attacks with that defense matrix. It's really difficult for them to get through, and the Roadhog might be the one to do it.
Transcendence gets thrown down. That's going to be the whole hog to force them back. Managed to get one with Surrenderous, taking down Pegasus. Tank form gets thrown out by Uralu, who's managed to find himself a kill onto Surrenderous. I don't know if Colchester actually have what it takes to get this fight in their favor, but Howlaloud taking out Uralu, that's going to be a good first step.
Oh, double
kill onto Nanzo. Oh no, Colchester found everything they needed to get on top of the point.
It's all on Semp.
It's all on Semp indeed. He's thrown down the self-destruct. The rest of Colchester just falling away. Semp finds a double kill on the D.Va.
Too little, too late.
It is a little bit too little, and it is a little bit too late, but 33 seconds is all Colchester have to work with. Kirk is about to get Death Blossom. Howlaloud also has his ultimate available.
There's not a lot of ult charge at all on the Portsmouth Pirates side. They burnt everything in that last fight. The Colchester Centurions in a really good position now. They need to keep that cart pushed. They need to keep on it. Urulu trying to harry away at the back lines. Really smart. You need to try and get those picks when you can. Whilst you can do it, Urulu has to fall back now on the Farah. They have to hold on the corner. They're going for the fight. Kirk on the sidelines with that Reaper. They want to engage.
3 ultimates just came online for Colchester. That's going to be Senra's down hits for now. Now we're going to see them stepping forward. How Loud finds a double kill. Now we got Kirk trying to just get rid of the Death Blossom. He's holding on for it for the moment. Waiting to find an open. Transcendence is there. That's going to be the Death Blossom to zone. And it looks like Colchester stepping forward, looking to try and get themselves onto this point. That's going to be how I have 2 funds falling down. And Colchester take map 1.
A really strong showing there from Colchester at the end. They just about managed to figure out the Bastion. That's what I was talking about with the Bastion pick. It is one of those strategies that it's good for a while, but once you figure it out, it's gone. You need to swap it up. Let's take a look at play of the game. Semp with the grab.
Massive Graviton Surge. He landed so many of them. He's getting this charge up all the time throughout this entire game. And they were always on multiple people. He played out of his mind. Even though he was on the losing team, when he was on the D.Va, when he was on the Zarya, he looked incredible.
Yeah.
We are loading into the game.
Okay.
Interesting to see what teams are going to start to pick up as well once we get into the later stages.
I'm expecting a lot of swaps coming out from the Portsmouth team for now, so we won't delve too much into that.
Well, now we're moving more into Portsmouth areas. We're on the payloads. And Colchester got the first map under their belt. Now need to try and throw it out so they can get themselves this second map. This is the best of 5, of course.
Yeah, so they are going for the Protect the President comp. Urulu on that Bastion. Kirk on that Widowmaker to back it. Sorry, Pegasus on that Widowmaker on the back line to back it up, but he gets taken down. Res up. So they do have that ranged advantage to try and watch out for those flanks. Halal will be the one to do so, but Urulu already stepping up to the cart now.
We're seeing the Portsmouth Pirates start to step forward now. They've got the payload working in their favor. Howl Aloud on the flank on that.
Ooh, nice hack.
Sombra just trying to get a little bit of irritation at the moment. He's not going to be able to 1v6.
Well, they're starting to look to pressure onto the sidelines. You can see Carry is isolated completely.
Pegasus, good sniper. Carry able to take one back onto Pegasus. It's a 1-for-1 so far, and Urulu's off the payload. He's behind, and that's just a really easy push by Portsmouth.
Really, really simple. They pushed straight on through the defenses. No one was quite able to step up to them. I mean, you had Kirk who was landing some shots on the Widow, but it just, beyond that, just wasn't there. Now they are able to get the pick off onto the enemy Orisa. They're continuing their strength. This is really strong from Portsmouth.
Portsmouth bouncing back from that first map defeat. Coming out the door, swinging, very confident in their play. And now we're on to group point B as they're starting to push the payload up, and it does feel like Colchester just don't seem to really have a game plan here. It seems a little bit spread apart as well. Oh, Kirk! And then Pegasus just snipes him back.
Exactly, this is the story of this game. So far, Kirk has been just landing these shots. He's doing well, but he just gets picked out, and the rest of his team go around his ears. They've got the res from I Have Two Thumbs that's keeping them up, keeping them ready to go. And Portsmouth are just charging it on through. They haven't stopped this payload pretty much the entire way.
Good sleep goes down. It's going to force Kirk down off the point, and he is just going to get punched in the face as Semp picks up the kill, and this will be point B. Getting walked through by Portsmouth, and it just feels like Colchester haven't had an answer to this comp.
So this is really the tricky point to push through. You've got such a weird sort of set of angles to play around. You need to go all the way around that curve. But you have that underpass as well that can really enable flanks from the defensive side. You can also just station some tanks, station a D.Va, pair it with the Roadhog as they're doing, and have so much strength by taking hold of that position. They're trying to pull people out, and you can see Carry Harry already just getting jumped on that.
Getting jumped up, and here comes the damage as we've got the ulti thrown out. Going to be one for Nanzo, and suddenly Colchester start to find themselves their openings. That's 4 kills. Looking to try and get on Semp. A great hook will force D.Va out of mech, and they might just play with their food before finishing Semp off. Delay those back timers as much as possible and slow down Portsmouth.
Yeah, that's what's called staggering your opponents when you wait to kill. Either the mini D.Va is a classic example of this, but it means that they can't go for a cohesive push straight off the bat. They do waste a little bit more time. So it's stalling, it's waiting, and it's just gaining that little bit of advantage that you need.
And now Portsmouth are the team who have this ult economy in their favor. 3 ultimates available to them. That is going to be the self-destruct thrown down onto Portsmouth. Howl Louder and Pegasus are going to get picked out. Double kill onto the D.Va. Now Semp going forward, trying to pick up Howl Aloud. Portsmouth trying to contest out the fight here, trying to keep this going in their favor. They had such a solid push to start, but now Colchester seem to have found themselves, found their stride, and Kirk with a pulse bomb takes down Carry Harry. Nanzo with the ultimate also going to answer back. Self-destruct gets thrown down by D.Va. Don't think he's going to be able to connect onto anyone, and now Semp remeching up has got to deal with Howl Aloud, but Howl Aloud takes a lot of damage from him.
They're going to back it off. Regroup now, go for the next push. Portsmouth Pirates stepping it up. Pegasus now on the McCree, looking to try and counter out Howl Aloud. If those deflects are in the right position, he will just be able to destroy that. Kirk as well will be countered out by this McCree, so it's a nice little pickup to go for, but it seems like it's not going to matter as the Portsmouth Pirates just getting wiped at the moment.
Double kill onto Kirk, and 4 members fall. Make that 5 as Howler dashes through Urulu to pick him up, and once again, Colchester pull a miracle out of the hat in the last moments. They've still got 3 minutes 30 to defend with though, so Portsmouth have plenty to work with. They're okay.
Yeah, so this is a little bit close, getting down to the wire now for Portsmouth. They've actually swapped out onto the Winston, but here go the ult. Urulu dropping it down onto the back line.
That's going to be one for Howl Aloud. Carry Harry does have his ultimate, but it's a double kill onto Pegasus with that Deadeye. Primal Rage still being held out by Carry Harry, and Irvine will just fall down. Lose his mech for the moment.
This is good for Portsmouth. They still have that Primal Rage. As you were talking about, Kirk has that Pulse Bomb. But who's his target here? You're looking at Urulu, you're looking at Pegasus, and you're thinking those guys should be able to deal with the Tracer on their own. He needs to dash in, he needs to get a dynamic Pulse Bomb. That will open it up, but if not, Portsmouth should just be able to roll it through.
Kirk is the make or break of this. We do have a ultimate coming through for Surrenderers fairly soon. Pulse Bomb was used and it didn't connect onto anyone. 2 kills come through for Portsmouth. Here comes the self-destruct. Is it going to find a mark? No, it's just zoning away for the moment. A self-destruct is answered back though. No one gets picked up by that one either. There's going to be the Primal Rage, forcing the team back, and 2 kills for Portsmouth coming through. All of the members for Colchester started to go down now, and with 2 minutes 27, Portsmouth Pirates fight back versus the Colchester Centurions.
They're just setting it up, and they will. Yeah, that's pretty certain they'll be able to lock it in there. So the Mercy as well, able to res it through, is kind of a crucial part of this as well. You could potentially opt to go for the Lucio right at the start, speed boost the Bastion onto the payload, go back to spawn, pick it up. But instead they're just going straight for the Mercy. They're confident that they won't have too much chip getting on the cart. You can see they won't have too much, but Kirk actually going down early.
Pegasus with a good snipe onto Kirk. We'll pick him off. I'll just slow down this push for the moment as Larissa with the shield forcing them forward. Portsmouth don't want to lose the payload, lose this first point as quick as Colchester did in that last round, and a great pick onto the President does mean Pegasus snipes him out. And this is going to slow down the Colchester's first siege.
They are just actually going to get backed off, and this is actually a really tricky situation. You can see, I was going to highlight it, but Howl Aloud needed to swap off that Bastion at that point because you rely on having Bastion on the cart and him being mobile whilst in his turret form. If you can't get onto the cart, you really can't afford to try and push up, like say go for those sort of staged pushes, the pepper pot approach to pushing up.
Colchester switched out the Orisa for the Winston now, wanting to dive onto the Portsmouth backline, recognizing all of the carries are a massive distance away from them. As Widowmaker for the side of Colchester isn't really finding the picks for them for the moment. Once again, Portsmouth finding the picks they need though, forcing Colchester to slow down the siege. That was a good grab onto 2.
Yeah, they were able to just clean those through. Very nice. As I said, they had to change up the comp from Colchester Centurions. They didn't have the position to go for it. And you can see they're just sort of changing around the heroes, trying to find an opening, figuring out where they want to put them, where they want to try and find their mojo in these picks. But Urulu has that Riptire available. You've got self-destruct, you've got nano boost as well. Sound barrier coming up. It's really strong right now for the Portsmouth Pirates.
Here we go, Riptire getting thrown down by Urulu. Is he going to find his mark? Is he going to find anyone important for the side of Colchester? Hasn't actually found a single mark with that, so that's going to be the ulti burnt. But in the meantime, Colchester did lose everyone else as they were fighting, trying to avoid the Riptire, trying to make the shove work. As we see Carry jump in with Kirk. It's the 2-man fight squad just trying to force Portsmouth back. But for the moment, Portsmouth are starting to win out these fights. And Colchester actually, as I say that, forced back, and now finally the payload will start to push for Colchester.
But this is a lot of time being burnt down. this is the point where Portsmouth Pirates, they just rolled it straight through, and they had barely any resistance. But now, you know, the Colchester Centurions, they've been slowed down, and there's yet another opportunity to try and halt this
Pulse
car.
bomb?
Kirk drops the pulse bomb, actually finds Pegasus. I'm surprised about that. He backed off into the enemy pulse bomb, but they are contesting the car.
Good hit from Kirk. He's managed to find himself 2 kills for Colchester, and he's starting to really step up now. Bit of a fight starting to scrap out as we're following Kirk through the fight as he's blinking in and out. Nanzo's managed to take down Carry Harry, and a couple of the members are starting to fall for the Portsmouth Pirates as Colchester starting to step their game up. There's 1:07 left on the clock, and Portsmouth are not going down. That's going to be the ulti thrown down by Winston just to force Portsmouth back, but for the moment, we're still at a bit of a stall. They're going to go forward, self-destruct, not going to find a single target. And Urulu now on the tracer will pop the mech from Nanzo. Oh, Kirk! Great pulse bomb! Still, there's members for Portsmouth to work around. There's so much that Colchester have to do. Another pulse bomb's going to connect. Urulu managed to take out one more member for the Colchester Centurions. And
finally getting through.
Kirk, I think he found the magic there.
Absolutely, that double kill with a pulse bomb, so crucial in the fight. Able to just finally clean them out, because Portsmouth are just chugging body after body onto that payload to contest, and they were finding damage, to be fair, as well, which meant that they were getting backed off. But finally they get through. They've got 2.5 minutes to play with. They need to try and push it through, but again, this is a very tricky push to go around this corner to try and get it through. A little bit easier than maybe the first or the last point, but it's still going to be pretty tricky, especially with the way Portsmouth are playing.
Looks like we are about to get ourselves a fight. That's going to be the ultimate. The rocket barrage gets thrown down, but Halalal's taken out in the sky. 2 kills for the Portsmouth Pirates as they're looking to make a res come through onto Halalal. Nanzo also with a self-destruct takes down Pegasus, and Portsmouth Pirates are starting to lose their members as Colchester found some really good fights for themselves there.
Halalal back onto that old faithful Farah. Will be able to do a load of work into that fight. They're really showing up so far right now. Well, I mean, they started off relatively weak. They got taken off the cart with the Protect the President, and that really, I think, got in their heads a little bit. I think that they slowed it down a little bit, but right now you can see they're back in the game. 100% Kirk has that pulse bomb available. I was seeing in practice Tracer before this game. He's brutal. He is absolutely brutal on it. Is incredible. So he just needs to land those pulse bombs in the right position. You know, find out Padshak, find out Urulu or Pegasus, and you got yourself a winner.
Pulse bombs available for Kirk, so I want to track where he uses that. One of my members are stacked up. It looks like he's found the squishy. That's going to be the pulse bomb thrown down. I don't think it's actually going to be able to find him a pick. As Carry Harry has thrown down his ultimate. It did get taken out though, and Portsmouth Pirates are starting to find a couple more picks for themselves. Stepping forward, and everyone on the side of Colchester starts to drop down. Nanzo's lost mech. And this siege from Colchester will be thwarted by the Portsmouth Pirates.
They're getting pushed back yet again. And remember, this is the sticking point that Colchester found on this third and final point. They were a little bit slower. They were a little bit slower for the Portsmouth Pirates. You can see they're just staggering out the spawns as well.
Playing with their food.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it strategically makes sense, but it also looks like it's a little bit BM, but it is actually a reasonable strategy, and it's a very solid one as well. Because, of course, you do just waste that time, which is something that is so precious right now for the Colchester Centurions. They're already below that barrier for Portsmouth Pirates, but they are going for the push. They're dropping down. Semp straight in their face.
Semp's gone straight, and Halalal's actually switched onto that Reaper. We've seen this a couple of times into the multiple tank comps. That's going to be everyone starting to step forward from Portsmouth. They found themselves to make that 3 kills now. Halalal's gone in, he's managed to get it, and it's a trade back from the Colchester Centurions. They're now stepping up to the mark. They want to try and get this payload working forward nice and quick. Halalal charging up that ultimate. He's at 52%, and he is playing on the forward foot as Portsmouth Pirates lose all of their members but Padshak.
A very nice coordinated push there. They were just going one by one, and Portsmouth just get taken down for their trouble. But they're not out of it just yet. 1.5 minutes. They've got quite a difficult push to come through. Halalal's might be able to find something on the flank. You can see he spotted out Pegasus. You need to turn. You need to find the flashbang. You should be able to hear the footsteps, but he doesn't get it.
Howler! This is not ultimate available quite yet, and actually he's gone in, forcing him to go back. Transcendence gets thrown down as Nano steps forward as well. That's a double kill onto the Diva. Self-destruct, making it a triple kill. Oh my God, Semp! That was beautiful! 3 members get picked off, but Colchester are not down, and they are not out at all at the moment, as we have the Deadeye getting thrown down. But great team fight for Colchester.
A lot of ults coming out now for Colchester as well. They have the Primal Rage. They've got the Pulse Bomb available. Death Blossom also nearly available. Portsmouth Pirates will be able to hold the cart for now, but this fight is going to be really, really strong for Colchester. They just need to find the opening. They need to pick off Padshak. They need to find I Have Two Thumbs, get those supports, and then turn it onto the rest of the team.
One more team fight is all that Colchester have left in them before the time runs out. Death Blossom's going to be available on Howl Aloud, so it's going to be about his flank as we follow him up onto the high ground. He's found out Semp and Carry Harry. They will force him back towards his team, and Colchester need to make this happen now. It's do or die.
20 seconds left.
Sound barrier gets thrown down by Portsmouth Pirates. That's going to be the ultimate from Padshak as well. Very, very tanky, hard to cut through. Howler gets himself one. That's going to be 2 kills for the Portsmouth Pirates. They are dropping the Colchester Centurions. Only 2 remain. He does have the Death Blossom, but it's not going to be enough damage. It only takes down Pegasus. Overtime is going to tick through, and Portsmouth tie out the score 1-1.
We are in for one hell of a series, Jake. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen moving forwards, but of course Portsmouth able to take this game home. Let's take a look at player of the game from that. There were plenty to choose from, but it's going to be Kirk on that Tracer. I'm assuming this is the 3rd point wipe where he was just going through and getting it. No, okay, it's going to be that double pulse at the start. You can see he drops it onto the mech. He's able to get both I Have Two Thumbs and Semp, and that's really what turned the tide of the fight on that first point. Unfortunately, they weren't able to push it through all the way to the final point, but that was a really nice play.
We've loaded through onto Lijiang Tower, the 3rd map of the day. Portsmouth Pirates taking on the Colchester Centurions. Come on, I-62, let's hear your roar.
We've got some great games for you today. There we go. That's a roar, isn't it? Or is that a whoop?
It's a soft roar.
Anyway, I think I'm certainly a little bit more excited than that.
I'm a lot more excited than that.
But we won't have to wait too long. They are both lining up, and Howl Aloud on that Farah. Portsmouth, they're not bringing it out. Maybe they don't have a better Farah after all. Maybe it was just all talk. Seems like those they are just going to go back to the old faithful. Urulu on that Genji. We've said it time and again. He's very, very strong on that hero. You've got Pegasus on the hit scan. Classic counter to the Farah. See if they're able to operate around it. Pegasus being on that McCree, very, very strong, because you've got Kirk, who's going to be countered out by it. You've got Howl Aloud, who's going to be countered out by it. What needs to happen is the Portsmouth Pirates need to make sure that he's in the right position at all times to go for those picks, to get those long-range shots, make sure that Carry cannot land the hooks on that Roadhog, and they should be okay, but they're going straight for the point.
Looks like we do have the Portsmouth Pirates first on the point, looking to try and contest it out. It doesn't unlock quite yet. Kirk's looking for a flank for the Colchester Centurions. A couple of kills gone back and forth. Nothing definitive quite yet.
They have taken the Diva mech though. Howl Aloud starting to charge it on through. Kirk on the sidelines, looking to get the damage down, and he's doing a good job at the moment.
Kirk playing out of his mind on this Tracer. Has now got a big monkey man chasing after him. And that'll be Carry Harry picking up a pretty easy kill on a 7 HP Tracer. And Portsmouth found all of the picks they need to be able to capture this point out. And Colchester are the team who are meant to be good at these capture points.
Well, maybe not on this first point. Maybe, maybe it's the Garden or some of the other points that they're a little bit stronger on. But for now, the Portsmouth Pirates take the first point. They will be ready and waiting to take the fight. Urulu now has that Dragon Blade available. You've got a lot of ult charges coming up. Mostly for the Portsmouth Pirates. They're very, very flat on their ult charge. Colchester Centurions, a little bit lackluster on Surrenderous and the Lucio as well. Both the support ults not quite up there yet.
Urulu just stepping a little bit more forward now. Colchester working their way round the back onto the payload, looking to try and contest this out. Does have Dragon Blades available. That's going to be the Pulse Bomb. Doesn't actually find his mark as Pegasus gets one. Here's the Dragon Blade as they're all bunched up. He's swinging left and right, but can't find a pick with the ultimate. Unfortunately for Urulu, felt a little bit wasted as Howl Aloud picks one up with his ultimate in return. That's going to be the self-destruct. Is it going to find anyone? Yes, it's going to find 2 from Semp. A massive pick for the Portsmouth Pirates, and now they're forcing Colchester away. Semp comes up massive on the Diva, gets himself a triple kill, and that's going to reset the shot from the Colchester Centurions.
Howl Aloud swapping off onto the Reaper now, trying to counter out Carry Harry, who's been so much work consistently on this Winston. I really like this style of composition from the Portsmouth Pirates. That Winston, that Diva, especially on these control points, I think it is almost unbeatable. Carry may be missing a trick by not going for this Winston. You can jump onto that McCree, you can really zone him out. Urulu as well, you can't deflect the Tesla cannon. it should be really tricky to counter, but he's on the Roadhog, and they're playing the price, I think.
Sound barrier is being used. Deadeye is available for Pegasus right now as he's going to throw it out. How many people is he going to get? Great hook onto him. Will deny him and cancel the ultimate. Colchester with that, and now is trying to make their way towards the point as it's going to be a Carry Harry falling down to Carry. That was a really weird tongue twister there.
There we go. Well, carry. I don't know. But Carry can't carry himself, it seems, as Urulu is going to take him down. Pulse Bomb does find one. But again, Portsmouth holding strong. They're on 99%, and Urulu is on a rampage right now. He's got 81% on his ult. He should have another Dragon Blade available if he gets one or two more kills, but I don't think he even needs it. There goes the self-destruct sequence from the D.Va. Dragon Blade is up and available, but that gets taken down. And so Colchester Centurions, all of a sudden, they have an opportunity.
4 members fall for the for Portsmouth Pirates as Colchester now trying to hold out. It's 99%, and we are in overtime. That will be the end of Carry Harry, and finally, Colchester managed to capture out on market.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a brilliant self-destruct sequence from Nanzo there. Able to be popped down right in the right position. Carry Harry didn't have the bubble that he could have dropped to try and protect from that, unfortunately, and they couldn't quite reposition. You saw Urulu just blown up because he couldn't get out the door fast enough. Really, really strong push there from the Colchester Centurions, but now the Portsmouth Pirates, they're coming back, and they're coming back with a vengeance.
Kirk does have that pulse bomb. He's actually
nice
going to land the stick. It's not going to be enough for a kill. The Dragon Blade gets thrown down, followed up by the sound barrier. 2 members have fallen for Colchester as Portsmouth are starting to go on a tear through them. They want this point. That's going to be one ultimate. Howler Loud throws down the Death Blossom, manages to find 2. Semp going to pick up Ivan, and now we're seeing the damage come through as Howloud to manage to get himself a triple kill on that Reaper. Self-destruct from Semp will zone away Colchester. And it's only a few members who remain as they are going to start to lose them very, very quick. Nanzo will be soon to follow as his mech is going to be destroyed. And Portsmouth find a great team fight, find the cap, and they find round 1.
They should be able to just tick it through. A little bit of a contest coming out from Kirk. Demon on that Tracer, but you're 1 man against 6, and I don't think it's going to last too long. Reaper gets shut down before he's on the point. Overtime ticks down and away, and Portsmouth Pirates take the first map on Lijiang Tower.
This was meant to be Colchester's redemption.
Absolutely.
This was meant to be the map they were the best at.
They just haven't quite shown us that yet.
Well, the first time winners of the Arena Clash are looking pretty strong here on Lijiang Towers. Both the teams are having a bit of a scrap here, just outside the point. Nanzo's going to be able to take down Carry Harry, so that'll be one of the tanks of Semp and Nanzo, and a bit of a 1v1 between the pair of them, but we are actually seeing now Portsmouth starting to get pushed back towards their spawn, and this means Colchester going to be able to capture, looking a little bit stronger now.
They took a little bit of an early loss into the fight, and they knew that because Semp was on such high charge, they needed to back off. They couldn't afford to lose that Zarya because that is so potent into the next fight. You can see he's 57% ult charge already, and Urulu is straight on in there.
Manages to take down Carry. Nanzo's also closing in on his ultimate. Surrenderous has his. Going to throw it down. That's going to be Semp picking him up, though, so he can't use it. Great Earth Shatter. Connects onto quite a few members, but is blocked on the backside of it. Now Portsmouth are starting to find their opening. That's going to be the end of Kirk on the Junkrat, and now the capture will come through from the Portsmouth lineup.
They are going to just stand up tall on the point. A lot of ults charging up. Again, they keep their ult charges so flat across the board. Patchak very low. Urulu actually going in with the Dragon Blade. Has to have the Zarya bubble.
Surge.
There's the grab.
It's going to try to get it. Members. That's going to be the sound barrier to back it up, though. I don't know if the damage is really going to come through as Urulu does get picked up. Howloud takes down Carry Harry, and now Colchester looking to punish out the Portsmouth Pirates for aggressive play forward. He has his ultimate. He throws it down. That flank was incredible. Doesn't actually get him anything yet, but he pops mech, pops everyone, and it's a triple kill for Howler Loud. Colchester punish hard.
That was just unnecessary from Portsmouth Pirates. Urulu just went in completely with no need. He went in, dropped the Dragon Blade on a fight that they didn't need to take, and then everybody else was like, oh, I guess we better press Q as well.
I feel like that was a lack of communication. Graviton Surge was almost up, and he was like, Dragon Blade when I Graviton Surge, and he Dragon Bladed first. This is now going to be the ultimate. Good. Ulti will pin them in, waiting for the Lucio to time out.
Grab.
A double kill comes through for Kirk, and like you said, that is how you grab. Colchester finding everything, and it's the full team ace once again. This back and forth.
Portsmouth just paid so much for that one mistake, and then they just piled on more and more, and they kept it rolling. I can't get over that. But anyway, I will have to try to, as Colchester Centurions have control of the point. 67% now. It's starting to tick up. They've got the Earth Shatter. They've got the Coalescence. They can stand up to a lot. Urulu dropping down the Riptire. They have a lot of pressure now, but they need to try and push onto the point. The Portsmouth Pirates starting to line up. Semp building up that ult charge as well.
Ooh.
He needs to find the good, Grav this time.
Well, he managed to land an Earth Shatter onto 3, but Colchester still able to punish, even though they were the ones caught out. And once again, only Carry Harry remains. And Colchester with 91% on this point. Very, very confident. Bounced back from that round 1 here on Lijiang Tower.
They're going off the triple tank. They've got the Diva on board. They need to play fast onto the point, 99%, and they don't have time.
Ooh.
They just get backed off. They can't push on, and the Portsmouth Pirates will take the loss on the second map. So maybe it was the fact that Colchester Centurions just a little bit weak on market. But whoever wins this map of this match takes the advantage moving forwards. They put themselves onto match point. So this is a really crucial round here. Both teams loathed to give up anything, and you can see Urulu now. He's putting on his big boy boots, and he's pulling up his britches. He's saying, right, Farah in the skies, let's go. Let's see what you got.
It's basically a 4v4 and then a 2v2 happening on the other side of the map.
Kirk on the Hanzo. That's a relatively interesting one. I mean, you do get a lot of scouting potential. You've got a lot of zoning potential with the ultimate as well, but remains to be seen whether he's going to be able to use it to great effect.
I'm very excited to see this Hanzo actually come into effect, or if it's going to fall short. Nanzo's going to take down Carry Harry. That's going to be Portsmouth. Losing quite a few members in the initial shove will go in favor of the Colchester Centurions.
He's not really hitting most of his shots actually, so something
that's how you play Hanzo. You just throw arrows and then just one random
arrows,
one.
You don't throw arrows.
You might as well throw them.
You're thinking of like Ninja Stars, dude.
I'm thinking of his brother.
Yeah, that's Genji, dude. Yeah, you got to shoot the arrows out the bow. That's what Hanzo's very good at, apparently. Well, in a lot of circumstances, but yeah, you do just need to keep that damage going through. If you land the headshots, it's incredibly impactful. But if you get jumped on by a Winston, you're not going to have a good day unless you found the headshot.
Oh, he's got himself a double kill though. Looking good as Colchester look to wipe the floor with Portsmouth. It's the full ace once again.
I take everything I said back. Hanzo is the best hero in the game. Absolutely, 100%, no competition.
All right, take your headset off and leave. I'm not dealing with you anymore.
Well, he's got the Twin Dragons ready and waiting. Very good at controlling a choke. You cannot push over that bridge if you've got the Hanzo just chucking that ult down. So much damage, you cannot push straight through. You don't have the Transcendence to try and negate that. You only have the sound barrier, which potentially could work against it, but you want to find those other avenues. You want to come from multiple angles.
He's going to throw it down. I don't think it was in the right position, but it's just going to be zoning for the moment. Going to get backed up by the sound barriers. Nanzo's going to pick up a Carry Harry. Has to deal with the Farah in the skies as Nanzo going aggressively forward. Picked up 2 kills for Colchester. And Portsmouth just can't find a foot. That was a great shot.
He's definitely got in the groove now. We haven't seen him play Hanzo, so maybe he was just warming up at the start, but he's got the lead. He's figured it out, and now he is brutal on this Hanzo. Doing tons of work for his team, but Howloud has that rocket barrage available. You've got plenty of ults on the Portsmouth side as well. You can see all of them starting to come up. Carry Harry, the only one not even close to it, but Colchester Centurions lacking a little bit. 87%. Portsmouth Pirates need to take the fight.
Looks like Portsmouth are going to go forward. Ulu throws down the ultimate. That's going to be 2 kills to start it out for Portsmouth. Good advantage for them to start this game out, but it's going to get returned out.
Nice.
Howloud only gets 1 before he gets dropped, but the res will come through onto Urulu. Overtime starting to tick away, and Portsmouth find everyone on Colchester. It's going to be the reverse cap.
They're able to keep hold of 3 ultimates as well. That's really, really important. Kirk, the only one with the ult. You have got Surrenderous and Nanzo both building those up, so the Grav and the combo with a Hanzo ult, that is really, really dangerous to play against. You've got the sound barrier though, that should be able to keep them alive plenty. I have 2 thumbs, should be able to keep the healing going through as well. Would be quite difficult, but they need to coordinate, they need to try and find it. Colchester now taking the fight on the point.
Semp does have that self-destruct available. Sound barrier is going to come down. Good Graviton Search will pull the whole team in, but it's going to get blocked up. Oh, Kirk with a triple kill! Howloud steps up as well, and everyone at Portsmouth is melted by the Colchester Centurions. Howloud takes down I have 2 thumbs, so the reses are gone. Semp has lost his mech, and he will lose his life soon after, and Colchester looking to tick through overtime.
Oh no.
I don't know if they can do it yet, though, because we are seeing the aggression come through from Portsmouth. They're on top of the point for the moment, but Kirk's going to take down Ulu. Kirk showing up massive on the Hanzo. That will be overtime ticking away, and Colchester go 2-1 on Lijiang Tower.
And that is why we say Colchester is the strongest team in the clash for those control point style maps. Absolutely brilliant showing in those final 2. Let's take a look at player of the game. It will actually be Semp from the Portsmouth side on that Diva. Looking for the ult on the self-destruct sequence. This was an early fight on that position, but you can see he knocked Carry off the side there with that ult. The Lucio as well going down, just charges straight on through. That was a really clean wipe for the take on that first point, but unfortunately the Portsmouth Pirates not able to bring it back, and they will take a 2-1 in Lijiang Tower.
Next map will be Numbani. First of all, Portsmouth will be on the defense. Colchester looking to push up with that quad tank like you highlighted. We saw it at the beginning of the day on the King's Row. I believe it was Portsmouth who ran the quad tank, if I remember right.
Briefly, I think it was.
My memory fails me.
Yeah. Mine
Portsmouth
too,
just taking themselves to the high ground. They haven't really picked anything off topic, let's say. Sticking to what we've seen them play a fair amount of. Urulu on that Genji, he's had some fantastic games. Pegasus on the McCree. They're your two primary damage dealers for the Portsmouth Pirates. It's Colchester. It's going to be interesting to see which way they go round.
Yeah, they look like they're moving towards just the low ground here, so they are going to be pushing through the underground, and they're already straight onto the point. Urulu's over the top.
Getting pulled in as we do have Portsmouth now trying to get back onto the point to defend. As Urulu's gone in, great hook from Howl Aloud. Will secure a kill onto the Genji, and it's a 5v6 now because of that.
This is the point though, McCree not quite able to take down any of these players. They just keep getting healed up by that Moira, by the Lucio, and no one can stand up to them.
Great smack, that's going to be free, make that 4 kills for Colchester. And they're looking to capture nice and fast versus Portsmouth. That was almost instantaneous.
That's exactly what the quad tank is good at. You just can't deal enough damage as Genji, as McCree to get through it, and you can see that. They just walk forwards with the amount of healing that is able to be pumped out by the Moira. You can't do it. You can't deal with it. You need to swap it off. Go for that. Well, the Junkrat is a decent pickup, but Reaper is infinitely more effective than the McCree in this situation. You need to be playing forwards. You can play aggressive. You can get out of those tricky situations that maybe Howl Aloud lands a hook. You can shadow form. You can step out of there, but the amount of damage you can put out onto those tanks, onto those large targets, is really, really important. And the fact that Portsmouth haven't adapted to that and they haven't picked up the Reaper yet, I'm not too sure if it's not a good decision.
Good ult economy for Colchester as well. They have got that Graviton Surge, but patch out of a pick on to Reinhardt is going to be very big for Portsmouth as he throws down the Transcendence, and now Portsmouth pushing up towards Colchester, forcing them away from the payload. Only managed to find 1 kill so far. Great hook comes through as Carry manages to pop the Diva mech for the moment. Semp standing forward, does have that self-destruct, but he's going to hold fire. And now Portsmouth starting to stack their ultimates back up in their favour.
Able to find a decent fight there, actually. Doing a lot of work. Both Semp and Carry Harry playing very well on these tanks. Two players that certainly I think they've got some legs on them, my friends. They really have been showing up throughout the clash. They've been so key to their team. Self-destruct sequence available for Semp. You've got so many ults for Portsmouth. There goes the Riptide.
Riptide's going to come out. Who is he going to chase down? It looks like for now, might just be a Diva pop as we see on the other side. 2 kills for Colchester. Nice. That's Urulu manages to take down 1 tank for Colchester, but there's still 3 more to cut through. Now Portsmouth starting to get their punish on. Heal and Revive comes through onto Carry Harry. Great hook into the Earth Shatter. Will deny him out. Howl Aloud falls down. And Portsmouth trying to force all of Colchester away. A self-destruct will not mean squat. And Colchester are forced to run away, but they did manage to pick 3 kills up on the tail end. Here comes the charge. That's going to be the pin. And Iovine going in. Graviton Surge is going to pull them down. And it's Reinhardt versus Reinhardt. Colchester get back on top of this payload.
They're able to continue the push. That was a nice set of picks coming out from Colchester on the back of a fight. Portsmouth overextending, over-aggressive. They pay the price there. Now Colchester should be able to push it on through to the second point. They should be able to claim this one with very little contest from the Portsmouth Pirates. They get around the corner. Looking at the setup at the moment, Howl Aloud on to that Farah. Pegasus not quite having a massive effect on this McCree at the moment. He's able to land a couple of shots there, so he is starting to warm it up, but Urulu goes in with the Riptide yet again.
Here it comes. Who's he going to land it? Only onto 1. That looked like that was going to be a little bit more. Semp going to take down Kirk, who is aggressing forward aggressively. It's going to be Carry Harry with a great charge. Looking for a kill. He's got himself 2. That self-destruct sequence is available to Semp, but for now it looks like Semp's going to be able to hold on to that. Isn't even going to lose his mech, and he's going to walk out with a blinking health bar. Portsmouth, good defense. And this is when it gets hard.
Yeah, they need to aggress forward aggressively, I think. That's something they need to keep in mind.
Hey, man. I sometimes say words.
So do I.
Sometimes I
I mean,
say the same word
We all do.
a couple
That's
of
true.
times.
That's true. That is true.
There we go. Well,
Anyway,
Portsmouth,
they
that's going to be
self-destruct.
self-destruct going down, followed up by the Earth Shatter. Didn't actually result in a kill, but it's still one for Portsmouth as Padshak takes down Carry. Ultimate comes through as they're starting to look to rinse through Colchester. 2 members make that free, fell for them. Another solid defense from the Portsmouth Pirates. And where the spawn is for Portsmouth is so good for them. The closer you push towards the victory, the harder it gets because the revives just come through. And Howl Aloud hanging around.
Oh, he could actually
Sneaky,
be spotted
sneaky.
out. They will get spotted out completely. There
Oh.
goes the flashbang around the corner, and Semp just closes it out. Very nice flank. That eliminates the rocket barrage, which is a huge element to the fight. Colchester cannot go for the fight right now. They need to wait. The Deadeye is available.
He has got the Deadeye. Graviton Surge has been thrown down. Oh, Ulu
Doesn't even need it.
manages to find 2 with the Riptire. Howl Aloud forcing Pegasus away from that high ground, but got to be very careful. Farah has troubles with a good McCree.
Certainly does. A lot of ults now stacking up. This next fight should be a bloodbath. 2 minutes 45 on the clock for the Colchester Centurions to try and push towards the 3rd and final point. They need to regroup. They need to rethink. Kirk over on the Tracer has the pulse bomb. That opening pick absolutely crucial right now to the fruition of the fight for Colchester Centurions. If they get it well, that should be good. But they've already lost a player.
Feels like that ulti maybe a little bit too late. And Pegasus playing like a man possessed. He's even going to throw out the Deadeye, meaning he's going to get one. But Pegasus trades back. Able to pick him up, but still Portsmouth find all of the kills they need, and they force Colchester's push against them once again.
A nice little hold yet again. Padshak still holding onto that Transcendence. They haven't needed to pop it yet. Howl Aloud dropped down the rocket barrage. And it got also instantly shut down, actually by Padshak himself on that Zenyatta now. Waiting and holding on to that. A lot of ults, a lot of tank ults, and a lot of crucial ults coming out from Portsmouth.
Self-destruct gets thrown out. That's going to be the Shatter coming out as Urlu manages to get onto Nanzo. Colchester have lost 1 member, but they're still holding out in the fight relatively well. Transcendence was there. Great hook onto Urlu. He's got 32 health, but he's going to be A-OK. As Colchester are starting to find the picks. It's a bit of a good trade for them, but it's relatively equal. Here comes the Riptire coming through from Urlu. Who's he going to find? It looks like he's just looking for the healer. It's on 60 health. Is he going to find anybody? Yes!
Nice.
Carry goes down.
And Pegasus is able to claim the life of the Mini Diva as well. Once again, Colchester sent back to spawn. They're just going to get staggered out as well. So a couple of respawns have to come through, and they should be able to mount their next attack. Pegasus has that Deadeye almost available. He needs to try and reposition, maybe go up for that high ground that we saw before. It was very, very effective. If he can take control of that with Howl Aloud not on the Farah anymore, that's a really strong position for him. You can see it's actually Urlu to lead the charge up towards the high ground, but they're going to fall back. They're going to try and play a little bit further back. 48 seconds left on the clock.
All 4 tanks from Colchester are starting to get themselves onto that payload as we're following Pegasus. Wants to find that optimal Earth Shatter, goes down. Damage is going to get followed up. Semp on that high ground, trying to put the damage out as Surrenderous manages to find one. Good knockback as you can see everything come through. Portsmouth still holding out strong though. Flashbang goes a little bit wide. Semp now stepping forward, and Pegasus wasn't really able to find a single pick there as Padshak gets Diva and Mini Diva picked up. Pegasus finds one with the Deadeye, but Colchester got a little bit of a shove going, but Portsmouth still managed to win that fight out massively.
They waited really well on they stalled it out just long enough for the Portsmouth Pirates. They took the fight, and now there's no time for Colchester to left to respawn to get back on the car. They need to try and play forwards, but there's only 3 seconds. Reinhardt, where are you? Lucio's on the car, and they contest.
Looking for the contestant to come through. They're holding on for now, but it looks like it's starting to buy it. Howl Aloud almost has ultimate, misses the hook. Overtime still on full charge. Here comes the whole hog. Managed to get himself one. Padshak got a triple kill at the beginning. Olu picks one up. There's only one who remains for the Portsmouth Pirates. It's going to be Ivan. And he is forced away. Portsmouth hold out strong.
A really strong hold there on the 3rd point for Portsmouth. Not very far around the corner at all. That is very achievable. The 1st point will be the tricky part for them. They need to be coordinated. They need to find the openings, figure out where they can get in, and just take it with both hands.
So Colchester did manage to hold a really good offensive on this 1st point, moving through towards point 3, but Portsmouth towards the end just really got their act together. Now Colchester need to hold fast in this early stages. We see Urlu on the Genji dashing in. Kirk's already hopped over to one side as Carry Harry will fall down. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Colchester are starting to lose a couple of members, but it's just back and forth. One member dies for one team and is picked up by the other on the other side.
Portsmouth turning it.
Portsmouth are definitely starting to chain it. Urulu on this Genji, he's just been untapped. He was untouched that entire time, and a great fight for Portsmouth means they will be able to catch a point A.
Very, very fast. Straight off the bat, that's exactly what this mobile comp is brilliant at. They went straight in, they took the high ground, they dethroned them from that position, and they were able to capitalize beautifully. Very nice showing from the Portsmouth Pirates. Now they need to move through the streets. The faster they can do it, the more time they'll have to play with on that final point, which is going to be the difficult one to play through.
We're moving into the streets phase of Numbani. 5 minutes 20 on the clock for Portsmouth to work towards point B. Colchester want to try and slow it down as much as possible here. They do not want to be forcing this into all the way. Remember, this is match point for Colchester. Dragon Blade's going to get thrown down. That's going to be one onto Urulu. He's looking for more. 3 members fall for the side of Colchester. Make that 5. There's only one who remains. Urulu in the air, putting the damage down, and Colchester lost everything on streets.
They know where the soldier is. They've got the wall hacks on the window. They were able to claim.
He trips over.
Final. He's like, oh. Yeah, he's never run with rifles, kids. That's
that's good advice.
Tip.
Actually, just you know what? Don't run with rifles.
Don't run with rifles.
Or scissors.
Just don't run. I think it's safer, probably. Just stay in a padded room and never do anything. It'd be great.
Was that how you were brought up?
We don't talk about it.
Okay. Well, Pegasus picking out that fabled. Oh, that headshot made that 2! Pegasus! That was incredible.
He's able to get the shots, and finally we're seeing both Urulu and Pegasus turn up in a way that we haven't quite seen so far from them this time around. And Pegasus, even from the grave, he's still getting kills. Kirk goes down, but there's a self-destruct.
Double kill for Nanzo. I have 2 thumbs, gets the res onto Padshak. Point B is 0.31 of a meter away, and Colchester are starting to push this back towards Portsmouth Pirates. Very slowly and very surely, we are holding out. We still got 3 minutes 44 on the clock, and Sepp able to get the Diva out of mech and get a kill to boot as Pegasus on the Widowmaker is stepping up massively for the Portsmouth Pirates.
See, his problem was he was running with a rifle. Shouldn't have done that. But they are going to be able to take hold of this second point. They've got almost 5 minutes now to go for this last point. The infra sight coming out from the Widowmaker. They will be able to spot out where everybody is. Make sure they know who they're playing against as well. If there's any roster swaps, they'll figure it out. Nice couple of shots coming out from Pegasus. He's been so impactful. Oh, that headshot.
Pegasus! What a beast on the Widowmaker!
Break Urulu though!
He's got himself a double kill with the Dragon Blade, but it's going to get answered back as Kirk gets himself one onto Pegasus. It's a double kill onto Kirk as well. Urulu stepping forward, but that's the game. Portsmouth tie it out, and we are going all the way to 5, John.
Colchester not able to step up to the cart. They cannot contest, and Portsmouth Pirates take home game number 4. We're going all the way. Semp, play of the game. It's absolutely incredible to see Portsmouth have a brilliant performance on Numbani. There he is, just zoning out the entire enemy team, just taking that control of that second point for the rest of the Portsmouth Pirates. My, what a series. This is shaping up for a brilliant final map.
Well, Portsmouth Pirates coming revitalized after that victory, knowing this is it, do or die. Victory is on the line. They're going for the flank. Around to the right is little hesitant to step forward yet. Want to charge up these ults a little bit more. Now we're seeing Portsmouth aggressing onto the point. Already Junkrat running quite low. Nobody's fallen down yet. As Nanzo is able to take out Carry Harry, the Portsmouth Pirates do lose one of their tanks. That's also going to be a mech going down, followed up by the Diva. Kirk on the Junkrat, putting out the damage for the Colchester Centurions, and they are going to thwart away Portsmouth's initial shove.
A really very strong defense there coming out. As I said before, Howl Aloud didn't die. And what happened? They lost the push. He was able to do a lot of work from the sides. Obviously, Kirk did a hell of a lot as well. He was able to get so much DPS through with those grenades, the concussion mines as well. He's very good at also stopping people from trying to move through fast with those traps, because of course if you step on one, you can't move, you're immobilized. It is impossible to get around that. So a lot of work being done, and again That's not the sort of kill you expect to see coming out, but Urulu goes down early.
It's going to get rezzed up by I have 2 thumbs though, so we'll kind of reset the play for the moment. Does obviously put Mercy's res on cooldown for the moment. Good sleep coming through. Howl Aloud on this Reaper. We've seen him play it a couple of times so far. Kirk throws it down the Riptire, only picks up Pad Shack for it. That's a Death Blossom available to Howl Aloud now. That's a scary, scary thing to push in if you're Colchester.
Certainly is. They got the nano boost as well. Honestly, you probably don't even want to use the Death Blossom whilst you're being nano boosted, because you'll do so much more damage to the tanks if you can hit those shots with Reaper. Once that runs out, that's when you pop the Death Blossom to clean up the rest of them. Death Blossom is very good against squishies, but if you want to take down those tanks, you just go gatting left and right.
It's been a while since we've seen the Beyblade.
Absolutely.
Been quite a long time. Urulu now on this Farah, raining the rockets down onto Colchester. We got 1 minute 40 to work with, and Portsmouth are going in. Now we've got Valkyrie popped out by one of the Mercies, looking to put the damage in as Kirk is going to get forced away from the zone. That's Carry Harry with a kill onto him. Primary damage dealers are starting to fall down, and Rocket Barrage is available to Ulu. He's going to throw it out into the Graviton Surge. Hasn't actually found a single pick with it, but it doesn't matter because Portsmouth are finding all of the picks they need. Earth Shatter from Reinhardt is absolutely huge, but he still falls down. Death Blossom from Howl Aloud only gets 1. And Portsmouth should be able to capture this first point.
They weren't quite able to get it in the right place. As I said, that Death Blossom not super effective against these tanks. The only people he's really going to be targeting with that are going to be Pad Shack, I have 2 thumbs, Urulu, but the rest of them have so much damage. You've got Semp on that Diva, you've got the Winston as well. It's so difficult to deal.
The reason why we saw Howl Aloud actually go in and just ulti was because he knew he was resetting and he was just going to die and switch. So he just wanted to try and see maybe if he can make a hero play.
Yeah.
So on paper it looked a little bit weird, but it makes sense. Now we've got Portsmouth once again going aggressively forward towards Portsmouth. But this is one of those typically harder maps to siege. Semp does have self-destruct available on the Diva. A couple of members going down. That's going to be self-destruct thrown out by Semp. Irene lost his mech. Didn't lose his life though, so he's going to have to charge up. But a good 2-man Riptire from Kirk will pick up both of the supports for Portsmouth.
Yeah, but they have lost a lot of their front line. The Colchester Centurions really looking to struggle at this stage. Howl Aloud able to get the mech off of Semp. Nanzo able to chime in as well. They're holding onto the point. The second check mark not taken just yet, but they're pushing through. Kirk swapping over onto the Hanzo now. We saw how impactful he was on that Lijiang Tower map. Interesting swap. Well, interesting is obviously is one of those pet words that is kind of like it can really mean
exciting
anything.
Pick.
It's exciting. Interesting in the sense that it could go horribly wrong.
Risky.
Yes.
It's a double-edged sword. You can really pop off with it, but it can also bite you in the bottom.
Yeah, I don't want to be getting bit in the bottom, certainly. Not before 9 p.m.
Standing around and get on the point.
I really hate you. Right, now we've got Deadeye coming through. He's going to find 1 as Colchester get themselves 2 kills to start it out. Carry Harry's trying to stand and contest on that point, but he will get picked up by Nanzo, and 5 players fall down to the Colchester Centurions. They have 3 minutes and 10 seconds to work with, so it's not over yet.
Yeah.
For anyone joining us now, just so you know, this is match point in a best of 5.
It's down to the
All
wire.
to play for the Arena Clash Overwatch Grand Championships. Both of these teams have won a season apiece. This will be their 2nd season. And the winner of this decides who is the most dominant in the UK for community-run Overwatch.
This is exactly how I wanted to see a grudge match go down. Urulu drops down the rocket barrage, and they're opening up onto the point. The self-destruct sequence doesn't find anyone on the defense. Kirk doesn't have the Twin Dragons available just yet, but they do have the Graviton Surge. Coalescence coming out of the defense as well, and Kirk starts to find the kills.
Howl Aloud managed to find 2. Kirk found 1 as well. That's going to be a triple kill onto Howl Aloud. Kirk now does have his ultimate. It's probably going to wait for the next push to throw that down low. Good defense from Colchester on point 2.
They can pair it up with the Graviton Surge. Just grab as many people in there as possible. You have the Lucio, who doesn't have sound barrier anymore. He used it in that fight. Or actually, no, sorry, I think he swapped off onto the Lucio off the Mercy here. So he doesn't have that ult available. you get it in the next fight, you will be able to just wipe the entire team. I'm expecting the grab to come through. They're waiting for it. There's the Earth Shatter.
Where's the Dragon going to go? It's coming up from Kirk. Let's see if he can get the damage out. He's only managed to find one, but Portsmouth have managed to find themselves 2 kills. Oh, Deadeye from Howler Loud lands onto both of the Portsmouth damage dealers, and Colchester hold out fast for now, but there's still a contention. We're working towards it. Howler Loud's managed to find himself all of the members he can. He's nano boosted up, and Howler Loud comes up huge for Colchester.
6 bullets in the chamber, 6 players on the enemy team. All it takes is Howler Loud on that McCree. He's going to be able to wipe the attack. They've only got 61, well, I say only, they've got 61.9% of the point already. They need to try and get the rest of the way there. One good fight is all they need. They need to find the opening. Grav and Twin Dragons use. This is where they need to step up.
Surrenderous does have his ultimate available. Pegasus on this top line here. High ground is going to throw down the Deadeye. Who will he find with it?
Nice.
Oh, he gets a triple kill! Pegasus comes up huge for Portsmouth. And now they're on the point, looking to try and capture all the way versus Portsmouth. Colchester in such a dangerous position. There's 50 seconds left on the clock. Portsmouth look like they've done it with 46 seconds left. All of the members of Colchester are starting to come back up and defend though. It's the final stand like you said. Nanzo pops mech, but he will fall down, and Portsmouth take round 1.
What a brutal final fight there. An incredible Deadeye coming out from the McCree on the Portsmouth side. Absolutely spiced to the supreme maximum.
That was what we like to call lit.
Yes, fam, it is.
The Season 1 victors hold both of the points versus Colchester. And Colchester in a scary position.
This is something we actually saw from Portsmouth previously in the previous matches they played on Horizon, Lunar Colony, Urulu on this bastion. What they do is they set up here. Urulu will then move to the back right corner of the site once they go for the push, and they'll just hold out there. Carry Harry being mobile with that Orisa shield, we'll just be able to play around that. They'll try and hook people into it, and that Reinhardt shield will not last very long. The D.Va defense matrix will stanchion it a bit, but only for so long.
Now we've got Colchester going on the flank, stepping forward. They have to deal with this Bastion who's going to be shredding through the members. D.Va goes in, great charge. No one's been killed quite yet, as now Colchester find themselves 3 kills. Going to take down a Roadhog as well to boot, and that's going to be 5 members for Portsmouth falling. Colchester come out of the gate swinging.
It's very, well, the road, again, the Bastion strategy is do or die. It's really, really risky. It hasn't paid off for them here. They give over the first point now. Urulu felt like a misstep. Felt like they were overconfident there. The reason it worked so well in their previous matches is because the enemy team was not coordinated. They were able to get the picks. They went in kind of 2x2, 1x1 kind of style, and they're just going straight for the final point as well. 6.5 minutes, almost 7 minutes left.
Colchester are not done. Earthshatter comes down. Here comes the self-destruct from Colchester as they're looking for the opening. It's been a 1-for-1 so far. Semp found 1. It's only going to be the D.Va mech pop so far though. And now Colchester starting to kind of fall back, stagger a little bit on this siege. Here's going to be the sound barrier from Carry to keep the team topped up and alive. We have a Riptire coming through. Who is it going to land on? To just Carry for now though.
That's all they need.
And Portsmouth are starting to find all of the openings they need. A great hook onto Howlouder. And Portsmouth,
they're able to stop
hold out strong versus Colchester.
Very nice hold there. It looked to me like Centurions might have had the advantage, but it was a little bit of a waste of a sound barrier, if you ask me, from Carry, because at that point the fight had really kind of turned. And even with that sound barrier, you've only got 3 or 4 members to play around. It's just not quite the strength you want. You want that Lucio ult to be the start of the fight. The amount of safety you get from that on the push is absolutely incredible. You can push through that first volley of DPS and come out unscathed on the other side, like an Andy Dufresne of Overwatch. It's really, really useful, but they kind of drop it early, and now they don't have it in their arsenal.
Well, that's going to be the supercharger thrown down by Carry Harry. There is a Graviton Surge available to Nanzo, who's finding that optimal position to throw it out. He's losing his health. Oh, Semp drops him down. That is detrimental to Colchester, as Portsmouth now looking to shove Colchester away from the base, away from the point. And that's going to be a good reset by Portsmouth, as they're even looking to try and just get a couple more glory kills, stagger those respawns.
Yeah, I think they need to make sure they get one and then fall back, because the respawns are starting to come through. But look at how much time is left. You've got 5 minutes to hold against one of the best teams going. it's still very much risky for Portsmouth right now. They've got plenty of ults. They're starting to charge them up. They do have some strength here, but Colchester Centurions, they are sure not to give them any respite.
It has been pedal to the metal in this in this fifth game. Ultimates are starting to come out. That's going to be the ulties thrown down. Riptire's out. Let's see where the Graviton Surge goes down from Nanza, who didn't get to use it. That's going to pull them all in. Portsmouth are starting to melt. A double kill from the D.Va. A self-destruct to follow up as Carry takes out Ulu. And now Colchester get the full ace, and they're looking to hold and capture this with 4 minutes 29 to work with. Portsmouth starting to come through. Sound barriers coming down as Portsmouth are now trying to fight out a little bit more. That's going to be the ultimate thrown down from How Loud, and somehow Portsmouth are holding for the moment. Colchester putting in the damage, but it looks like we're capturing all the way, and Colchester with just a sliver left to go capture the point, and round 2 is completed.
We will be going to yet another round. I'm really excited for this. All the way to the final bitter end, but Colchester, they brute force their way onto the point. They assert their authority and say, we are here. We are not going down without a fight, Portsmouth.
Colchester on the defense as Portsmouth now going to start to come out of their base and look towards trying to make some kind of miracle upset happen for them. They've got 50 seconds to get to this point. And Colchester are just going to hold fast already. We see Urlu on the D.Va dive in, trying to get his foot forward. Kirk gets hooked, gets stunned. He's losing his health quite quickly for Colchester. He's got 60 health left, and all of a sudden, that's going to be the first pick. Urlu on the D.Va gets one. It's still a lot of members to cut through, a lot of tanks to work for as How Louder gets hooked up as well. But Portsmouth starting to shove aggressively forward into Colchester. The flank from How Louder is starting to come through. A double kill for the Colchester Centurions as they are working their health bars low. This is looking good for Colchester. 13 seconds left on the clock, and Portsmouth look like they're just losing every member. Both of the ultis from the Moiras are thrown down. Graviton Surge lands onto 3 though. Is there going to be enough damage to come through? The D.Va self-destructs. 5 seconds left on the clock. We're working into overtime. How Louder has thrown down the whole hog. Pegasus will be falling out. And it looks like Portsmouth will be forcing this all the way. That's going to be the self-destruct. Sem gets himself a double kill. Kirk answers back with a double kill to boot, though. We are still going. Hook's dodged away. Self-destruct's coming down. Kirk is coming up. Absolutely huge. He gets a quadra kill. And Colchester hold out on point 1.
Reinhardt, the bastion of Colchester right now. That is an absolute clean wipe for Kirk as he just swept on into the point and said, off with you. Finally, Colchester looking to hold on to that trophy.
They need 1 checkpoint on this capture. It's all Colchester need.
1 check, 33.3% of the point. 1 good fight, 1 opening, 1 slip up from Portsmouth is all that stands between Colchester and the victory, taking home that trophy yet again to the Colchester Belong Arena. They're going around the side and Kirk is at the front.
Kirk looking to go forward here. A lot of damage starting to come out. He's got the shield up. A great hook comes through onto Carry Harry on the side, and Colchester just scrapping away versus Portsmouth. Nobody has fallen quite yet as the healers are doing their job, keeping everybody topped up and alive. Colchester have been forted away. That's going to be the D.Va mech falling though, and Pegasus gets himself a kill as well to boot. Portsmouth Pirates are finding every kill they need versus the Colchester Centurions, but now Colchester starts to dance it back. Earth Shatter comes down. It doesn't really land onto too many. It's the sound barrier's there. Graviton Surge is onto Portsmouth. Colchester are starting to fall apart as Portsmouth find the picks, find the kills, and Howler Lowler will go down.
He is going to fall finally. The Portsmouth Pirates able to chime back on in. Urulu with a decent whole hog there to just send his team straight on. And you can see 3 players on fire for the Portsmouth Pirates right now. You've got the Earth Shatter available from Carry Harry. He needs to make sure that's well placed. Kirk doesn't have his 41% left on that charge. You've got the self-destruct sequence. High, very, very strong at zoning out the players. But as you just pointed out to me, How Loud is now on that Reaper.
Very, very interesting. Ultis are starting to come online. This next fight will be explosive for both of these teams. Colchester about to get the Diva ultimate available. Here it comes. Self-destruct gets thrown down. I think it may be a little bit too wide. It is actually going to get one. Padjack falls.
No coalescence.
That's going to be one. No coalescence available, like you said. Another Diva ultimate comes out as Kirk charges in. Another kill comes through for the Portsmouth Pirates. Colchester are starting to find their opening. They're starting to find their picks. We could be looking down the barrel of victory as Colchester have only got a couple members left. It's going to be I Have Two Thumbs Falling, and that is all she wrote. Colchester Centurions are your Arena Clash Overwatch champions.
We go the full distance and we take it all the way to 5 games. Round number 4 is where we find our victors.
Wow. What did we think of that? Was that close or what? I didn't even know who was going to win. I am absolutely stoked for Colchester to win. I'm so proud of you guys. Well done. Well done.
My heart's still pounding. Honestly, I was in the crowd, and the crowd was electric the entire way through. I knew it was going to go to a best of 5. I knew it was going to go the distance, but I never expected it to be that close. What a series.
Absolutely amazing. Well, we can't forget Portsmouth Pirates. You guys did really, really well. I'm proud of each and every one of you.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic work from you guys to get this far. And
Can we get a round of applause, please,
come on,
for the
we've got to give
Portsmouth
it up for
Pirates?
Portsmouth Pirates. Come on. But obviously, let's hear it for your Arena Clash Spring 2018 Overwatch champions, the Colchester Centurions!
Woo!